Hello, people of YouTube. It's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS World News Podcast, or videocast, whatever you want to call it, for the 30th of April 2022. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Tog. Welcome, Stevie B. Welcome, Byron. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed that most recent tutorial video there for the F-18 Hornet. That was a full demonstration of the AGM-65F infrared version of the Maverick missile, and I demonstrated how to do a kind of automatically slewed and how you could do a manually slewed target as well. Next week, I'm going to demonstrate the E-model Maverick, which is basically exactly the same, except it tracks on a laser. And in many ways, it's more useful. It's far easier to get the lock on your target, and you can employ them at a greater range. So we'll have a bit of fun with those next week. Welcome, Paul. Welcome, Channel Right. Welcome, Tog. Welcome, Agamemnon. And Nightwolf. Yes. Welcome everybody to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. Now, I hope that you'll all join me in wishing dotChuckles the best just now. He sadly has been unable to join us tonight. He's rather unwell, and I would like us all to give him a big thumbs up and wish him a speedy recovery. And hopefully he can come back and join us sometime soon. So unfortunately just now, he's not well and you're stuck with me for now. But let's see some love for dotChuckles in the chat, please, because I'm sure he'll see this at some point, and hopefully he shall be buoyed by our support. So there you go. A game? Oh yeah, very good. And welcome, Yogi. Welcome to the stream. So, yes, we've got a bunch of news. I missed last week, so we have 2 Eagle Dynamics newsletters to go over. Let's jump straight into it and see what's been going on. So this is actually last week's Eagle Dynamics newsletter. And in this one, they're talking about the new features coming to the DCS Supercarrier. For improved nighttime operations, new deck crew gestures such as the launch bar and brake release signals, light wands, and improved shadows are being finalised. And I'll show you the video that Matt Wagner posted a little bit later on. There's some really cool rave-style action with the light sticks. Yes, good. Hugs for dotChuckles, thumbs up for dotChuckles. Get well soon, yes. Yeah, if you're watching, mate, get well soon. Hope you're doing okay. Heat blur simulations will deliver an update to the DCS F-14 Tomcat in the next open beta. Work continues with major improvements and additions. These range from visual features, such as the new cockpit pilot models, to some of the remaining key features, including advanced jamming effects on the radar and associated displays. Given that some of the radar displays in the Hornet are analog, this is going to be very interesting, because I have no clue whatsoever what a jamming contact will look like on a kind of analog style radar display. We need to get in touch with Ward Carroll. He's the one who'll know. We need to ask him what that looks like. Yogi, did you see the Air Combat Sim episode this week with Razbam F-15E coming this year? I actually have not seen that yet, but yes, we already had confirmed from Razbam that they intend the F-15E to enter early access near the end of this year. So that's information we already had. Yep, so that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. And then at the end of last week's newsletter, they talk about a new A-10C campaign called Operation Agile Spear. So that's kind of cool. Let's dive more into the Supercarrier stuff, though. An important and challenging feature of DCS Supercarrier has been the development of night operations. Over the past year, we've been working on several aspects that will soon be released in open beta. These include new deck crew animations that utilize the new skeletal animation system, new animations that are specific to night operations, and the inclusion of night wands. This will make deck operations at night much easier and more realistic. For the aircraft, deck crew and objects on the roof at night, we've improved lighting and shadows based on the deck and tower lights. We continue working on this feature to enhance performance and frame rates. Please note that deck shadows will be an option that you will need to switch on in the graphics options. On final approach, you'll now need to contend with the burble effect. This disturbed airflow coming off the back of the carrier results in brief partial loss of lift as you close in. This can make things much more of a challenge if you're unprepared. We continue to tweak this effect, and you can expect the first iteration shortly. And actually, I suspect that since this newsletter came out, we already have that in open beta, but we'll find that out in just a moment. Watch out for the trailers for the F-15E Strike Eagle in the summer. Yes. I agree, Yogi. That's going to be cool. So, seeing as how we're talking all about the Supercarrier, let's have a little look actually at the video that Eagle Dynamics posted all about this, because it looks really nice. You can see the lighting and the spark effects. Everything is looking very, very tasty. All these light wands getting waved about. I'm not including the audio because I'm pretty sure there's some copyright stuff in there. But yeah, very, very cool video. If you haven't already checked it out, watch this one. It's titled DCS Supercarrier Operations. And these light wands and these new crew animations are very much in force here. Very nice lighting coming from the afterburner there as well. Yes, totally agree, Channel Right. The lighting looks amazing. Very, very nice. And like the glow coming off these light sticks is very convincing. Yeah, I like it a lot. So, yeah, I'll need to check the patch notes. I don't know if this stuff is already in-game as of now or not, or if it's coming soon. Also demonstrated in this video is the air boss position and the ready room, both of which I would really like to get my hands on at some point soon. Yep. So instead of thumbs up, we get light sticks up during nighttime operations. That's pretty cool. I wonder what times of day and so on trigger this transition. Damn sexy lighting. Yep, totally agree, Tog. Looks very nice indeed. And yeah, they were also showing off some kind of poor weather stuff, and here we go. Here's a first kind of live example of someone sitting in the air boss station. First time we've seen that, I think. Pilot ready room, another nice one to see. My understanding as well is that the greenie board in the pilot ready room will be updated if you're running a server or similar. Although I don't know if the data is retained. So that'll be something interesting, because the Moose module called AirBoss, funnily enough, has this functionality as well, and it has the ability to dump these details to an Excel spreadsheet. So you've got the ability to kind of dump them out and then pull them back in again. I wonder if there is dynamic weather. Channel Right, at the current time there is no dynamic weather. They're looking to re-implement that as they kind of continue to refine the cloud model. So yeah, we've got no dynamic weather as of now. Oh, nice sparks there coming off of that hook. That was a good one. Very, very nice. Boom, Eagle Dynamics. So there you go. There's a quick video of the fancy new lighting that they're talking about for the Supercarrier. Then going into some more detail about the F-14 development. Recently, DCS F-14 Tomcat received an impressive update, an overhaul to the autopilot and associated aircraft control systems. This has been a massive undertaking and will have a significant impact on your flying. Our aim is to provide you with the system, in fact, as it would function under the hood in the real aircraft. This will generate the same effects that the real F-14 autopilot would exhibit in varying flight conditions. The Tomcat's development continues with improvement of various systems and the addition of some final features currently missing from the module. This all means the Tomcat will more accurately reflect the functionality and limitations of the real aircraft. If you missed it, please read more here. They should add this to land bases. Hello, Marques. Welcome to the stream. They should add this to everything. So I guess you're talking about the advanced lighting and the nightsticks. I would really like to see that. And something that we've been talking about on the stream in the past is it would be nice if they would add to the SDK, and maybe they're planning to do this, I don't know, the ability to create these sort of out-of-mission environments like the Airboss station and the pilot ready room, so that other module developers create things like, you know, a land-based pilot ready room, maybe a more realistic tower view for land bases. It'd be nice to see this kind of thing implemented for the Tarawa. So, you know, if it was added to the SDK, then other developers like Razbam would have the ability to do similar things. So I would really like to see all of this kind of stuff. maybe we're taking it too far here, but I also would really like the ability to do a walk around of my aircraft. Like, you know, it'd be nice if we could do our briefing and then sort of teleport to the ramp, do our walk around of the aircraft, wave at the other pilots, have a chat with them while we're checking our aircraft, then get into the aircraft, and it would then begin the experience that we have today. You know, really joining all of this up. If you're playing in multiplayer with an online squadron like Virtual Air Force, this could really add to the experience. Now, I recognise all of this is this is all fluff. This is all additional stuff that you don't need to have in a flight simulator. However, clearly Eagle are interested in exploring at least some of these things, given that they're making the airboss station in the ready room. Maybe we could convince them to take it just a little bit further, but we'll see. Or at the very least, add these capabilities to the SDK, let people do it themselves. You know, outsource this to the other. Take a ride in the heli before going on mission. Yes, indeed. Dangling your legs off the edge. Okay, and the last thing from last week's newsletter was Operation Agile Spear. You will be Major Took Key, a flight lead and instructor pilot assigned to the 74th Fighter Squadron, Moody Air Force Base. Lead the military response against the invaders. We truly hope you enjoyed this update and that you'll be staying safe. Yeah, okay, that's just their sign off at the end. So that was last week's newsletter. Fast forwarding to just yesterday, 29th of April 2022. Dear fighter pilots, partners and friends, we continue to push hard on the Viper, and some notable changes include the addition of the destination page and offset aim points that allow you to adjust and create steer points without having to first select your active steer point. Please take a look at Matt Wagner's latest DCS F-16C Viper April update and check out the details below. Well, you know, let's do as we're told. Let's have a little look at that right now. So that's this video here. So there is indeed a bunch of stuff coming to the F-16 soon. They've demonstrated the offset aim points. We're also seeing the VIP and VRP points, one of which can be assigned to each steer point. So I guess with each steer point you get 2 offset aim points, a VIP and a VRP. So you can define quite a lot of these points. And the most interesting part of this, for me at least, was the fact that you get this pull-up queue. So on your way in towards a target, you can effectively define the angle from which you want to approach that target and the point at which you want to execute your pull-up maneuver. I think that's really quite cool. Byron, random failures detectable on walk-around and startup would be good as long as you could quickly jump to another airplane. Ooh, now we're getting really advanced here. There are things that I've always been wanting to implement in the VAF, and actually we track some things in the VAF, like airframe hours, things like that. But I've always liked the idea of tracking the state of an aircraft, making it persistent, and even having kind of maintenance periods. So, you know, maybe for a particular mission, certain airframes are not available due to maintenance and other things. So, yeah, I'm into all of this kind of stuff. Maybe it's a bit much. Maybe, and the thing is, how many people would actually turn on these features? I don't know. But you know, as far as us role players doing our online multiplayer stuff, you know, I find this kind of thing really cool. I think it'd be good fun. So, start of this video, our man Wagner is demonstrating. Oh, I forget what it's called now. It's the data link track that you can define and then display in your helmet-mounted display. So let's see if he's just about to show us what that looks like. It gives you a little hexagon, basically. In fact, let's take a quick look at the notes here. What is it he's actually demonstrating? Oh, wow, there's an absolute ton of stuff. Oh, okay, right, fair enough. So what he's actually showing us is the difference in symbology between contacts that are visible to your radar and ones that are only available in the data via the data link. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, would be optional, of course. He's also talking about the fact that the CAS, TAS, and ground speed are now implemented, so you can flip your switch and get different airspeed readouts. Actually, in the case of ground speed, it is, of course, not an airspeed, but anyway, speed readouts, I should say. Suddenly, wall of text. Yeah, I thought I would just quickly read the notes. It's like, meh, maybe not. There are a few too many in there. Oh yes, this is the other thing. I forgot to mention this before. They're now implementing the different fuses and the ways in which they can be adjusted. So he's demonstrating the control page under the store's management system, where you can now see all of these. So the ability to adjust the delay after the bomb coming up off the aircraft before it's armed, and then the ability to have an impact delay as well, which is kind of cool. So AD is the delay before the bomb becomes active, and AD2 is the delay before it actually detonates after being triggered. And yeah, you can punch in new values into the MFD here, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and he's demonstrating a 6-second impact delay on the fuse. Yeah, fusing is really interesting. And the thing is, the sim is now somewhat accurately modeling the effects of penetration. So even if you drop a normal bomb, if you have a delay, it will actually simulate the detonation of that bomb some distance below the surface or inside the building that you've hit, which is an interesting effect. So what are they showing us now? Oh, okay. The ability to press the cursor button to flip between. Yep, that's pretty cool. Nice to see that coming to the sim. So, jumping back to the newsletter. So, for DCS Supercarrier and the free aircraft carrier, you can now land hands-free in Mode 1 or manually with assistance in Mode 1A and Mode 2. Please see the Hornet and Supercarrier ACLS instructional video here. Well, once again, we're going to do just that. Let's take a quick look at this demonstration. This one I was rather impressed by because I'd heard of ACLS and actually was most familiar with its implementation in the F-14, the ability to do these hands-off landings. But what I didn't realize was the link 4 data link and how much additional information it provides. So you can actually do kind of an approach to the stack, leave the stack, fly an approach, and so on, really without that much radio comms. It gives you most of your instructions via text and symbology, which is really cool. I'm going to see if I can fast forward a bit, because the first thing he talks about is how to set up an aircraft carrier to be able to do this. So here we go. The left-hand display here, he's displaying the details from the link 4 data link, and you can see things like commanded airspeed, altitude, and rate of descent. So it's pretty damn cool. You get a lot of information there on the left-hand DDI. Byron, yes, all very well in the pit, but doesn't it make a difference? But does it make a difference on the ground? Are you talking about the fusing here? Because yes, it does. They implemented the differences in the fusing and the ability for all weapon types to penetrate objects before detonating. They did that last year now, so we've had that for a while. And I've seen a bunch of videos on YouTube where people try out different settings and demonstrate that it does indeed change the effect of the weapon, which is nice. So that's a good one. That's one that we've had for a while now. So I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. Let's see if here we go. We start getting instructions on here. So yeah, commanded airspeed, commanded altitude, commanded rate of descent. And yeah, it tells you what phase you're in as well, which is pretty cool. And let's just bump it further on here. To the point where he actually starts doing the automated landing. Because he's still flying, he's hand flying it just now, although he has the auto throttle turned on. Yes, I've not tried this yet, but I'm very much looking forward to giving it a go. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Okay, so he's on AOA now, so he's probably going to be... Yep, I can see the carrier in the distance. Let's get it a little bit further on. And here we go. We can see he's now in coupled mode. So he has the autopilot on, he's put it into coupled mode. The autopilot is now following the needles and this little command steering cue as well, which he's probably describing exactly that right now. So the flight path marker will be kind of commanded to follow this circle. And in doing that, it should give you basically the perfect landing every time. Automation. Oh, yes. And like I said, I believe the F-14 has a very similar system. The Link 14 is also Link 4 capable. It also has ACLS. I would suspect its implementation is far simpler because it doesn't have these multifunction display pages. But the F-14 is also capable of landing itself in much the same fashion. So, quite cool to try this out there. Chat, actually, does anybody in chat know, do we already have ACLS for F-14? I don't recall. I know that the panel and the kind of configuration is there, but I don't know if the actual autopilot mode is part of that as yet. Suddenly autopilot failure. Well, you know, I think the pilot is very closely monitoring whatever the autopilot does. I think you're definitely ready to do your landing by hand if you have to while you're following this procedure. I don't think anybody is sitting there with their hands on the towel rail, you know? That's not going to be a good idea. Well, yeah, I gotta say, as a real world private pilot, I have to say automation is a wondrous thing and something that you should always make use of as much as you can. Reduces your workload. So there you go. There was a completely perfect 3-wire landing using ACLS. Rather impressive, I think. Rather impressive. So yes, that was that demonstration video. The latest open beta contains a substantial list of crushed bugs, in addition to some super features such as synchronization solutions for multi-crew on DCS AH-64D. George, as pilot AI, also went back to flight school, and he's improved his flying skills. Please read the fuel changelog. Yes. And then on the F-16 Viper, we've got a development report on this one. Additions to the F-16C Viper include primary data link track. This is the one that will allow you to choose one track that you have in your HSD and display it in the helmet-mounted sight. Improvements of the visual initial and reference points, new delay fusing options, addition of the time DED page, updated cursor 0 options, more accurate radar and HSD symbols, and corrected Maverick cursor enable functions. This was the thing he demonstrated at the end of the previous video, where he can tap a button on the throttle and flip through the different Maverick modes. Please see the full changelog for the complete and impressive list of improvements. We're going to be doing that in just a moment. Maybe an A6 someday, asks Tog. Well, yes. Heatblur have promised that we're getting an AI A6 at some point, and that they would also like to develop it into a flyable module. FA-18C Hornet development progress. For nighttime and low visibility Case 3 recoveries in the DCS FA-18C Hornet, we've added the automatic carrier landing system, ACLS, that incorporates the Link 4 data link that allows two-way communication between the aircraft and the carrier and the aircraft beacon. When used with Supercarrier, this allows direction to the Marshall stack and carrier with realistic radio voice communications. And they direct us to watch the video. There's a video demonstrating it with the Supercarrier. There's also one demonstrating it with the free CVN-74 John C. Stennis. We're not going to go over those two because there's just too much stuff. In any case, H64D bug reports. In the latest open beta update, DCS H64D contains a number of autopilot features, multi-crew synchronization solutions, and a welcomed list of fixes. For a full list of improvements, check out the full changelog. Well, I think we're at that point. We're going to do exactly that. There was an update to the open beta posted on Thursday, and it was fairly sizable. Had a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So, introduced 2 new campaigns, one for the F-14 and one for the A-10. We've also added technicals, armed pickup trucks. Now, actually, I wonder, do we have... I'm going to see if we can get the pictures of those, because that would be rather nice. Have any links to the pictures? Nope. Interesting. Because usually they do. They usually have a link to the images from the newsletters. Okay, in any case. We have scouts with the mounted Dushka 12.7mm or Cord 12.7mm. That's basically the old 50 cal or the modern 50 cal that the Russian military has. You can have a technical with an MLRS, the BRM-1 80mm rocket, which is slightly stupid and insane. I've actually seen kind of jury-rigged versions of these that caught fire, like the interior of the truck caught fire when they were actually used. So this sounds quite insane to me, but I'm sure there are more professionally built ones that don't have that failure. No pictures of the technicals. I know. I don't know where to find them. Digital Combat Simulator. Let's see if we can actually get those pictures up, because with the images it's going to be way more fun, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, where on the website do you actually get the pictures? Darn it. Screenshots. There we go. There we go. Okay, so where are these technicals, everybody? In development. You would think it would be in the in development screenshots, but actually they've not updated the screenshots for this newsletter, so we don't have any. We've got some pictures for the kind of nighttime operations on the Supercarrier. But we don't have the pictures of the technicals, which is a bit sad. Oh well. Oh well. You'll have to imagine them. Somebody posted some pictures of them on the VAF Discord, so if you're on the VAF Discord you can take a little look there. In any case, there's a third technical, an air defense version with a mounted ZU-23. That's also, for me, slightly terrifying to put a weapon like that on the back of what is probably basically a Toyota Hilux. Chances of setting the truck interior on fire, very high, I would suspect. Then there's a bunch of fixies to the main DCS world. Is there anything particularly exciting? The AMRAMs were too easy to notch, so they've been improved. Anything else massively exciting here? Nothing too exciting, I don't think. We've then got updates to the DCS F-16C, primarily stuff to do with the Supercarrier, so we've got the addition of the ACLS and so on. What else have we got? We've got improvements to the comms, even with the free carrier, in fact. Scroll down for new objects, says Marques. Haha, did I not see it? Objects. Are you sure? I don't see them. I don't think they're here. Yeah, there's one just called Open Album. One called DCS World. Yeah, I don't think they've updated these. I don't think we have screenshots. I don't think we have screenshots for these, or at least none that I've seen. In any case, let's continue with this. There are additional payload presets and then a bunch of fixies, really. Oh yeah, and they've got improvements to the auto throttle when it's in approach mode. No, go to link. Huh? Link. What link? Oh, this. Wait a minute. Is this what you... No, that's not it either. Sorry, Mark. I've got no idea what you're talking about. I can't find them. DCS Supercarrier has a bunch of updates, primarily the stuff that we've already described, where the deck crew animations are better. We've got the guys using the light wands and so on. In the F-16, we've got fixies for crashes in the avionics and weapons. We've added pull-up and weapon fusing queue logic, low indication on the HUD, things like that. The link you posted. Sorry, Mark. I don't... Oh, wait, have you posted this into the Discord? Is that what it is? I don't know where you've posted the link. Sorry, man. I don't see it. Added the primary data link target, improved the VIP and VRP behavior, improved the time DED, added offset aim points. These were talked about actually a couple of weeks back. Adjusted the FCR and HSD symbols, added the destination page, added the cursor 0 for TGP and the air-to-ground FCR, additional ME presets, and then a bunch of fixies. Then we've got quite a lengthy one here. In chat, you say. But where in chat? I don't know. Where did you post it in the chat? Is it in the screenshots channel? There we go. Hey, hey. Okay, well done, sir. So yeah, Shadows actually posted some images here of firing stuff using these. So there you go. That's the one with the 50 cal. It's rather bright in this viewer. Oh, actually, I'm in fact not showing these in the. Give me a moment. Let me show them actually in my browser window, which is what I'm in fact broadcasting to you all. So, right, okay. So here's the one with the Duschke. I'd imagine the one with the cord looks basically the same. We then also have this one. This is the one I was talking about. This is, to me, this is absolutely terrifying. Because basically you're taking, it looks like the rocket pod off of a Su-25, and you're mounting it on a pickup truck. Like, as this is firing, there's going to be so much heat and materials coming off the end of this and falling inside the truck, and it's definitely going to set the interior of the truck on fire, I would expect, in real life. And then the last one here, possibly the most ridiculous looking one here, we have one with the ZU-23 mounted on the back, so quite mad. Yeah, and they have options for paint scheme. I need to look at this in the mission editor and see if we can get the trucks in different colours, because of course that'd be pretty nice. In any case, let's jump back to the changelog. A nice lengthy one here for the Apache. They've improved the SCAS, which is the stability augmentation system it has. They've given us an initial version of velocity hold, improved the AI pilot. They've added the trigger guard, so you can actually simulate that. Added air target tracking restrictions for the AI, and then a whole load of fixes, which, given that the Apache is still in fairly early access, that's really nice to see. So yeah, I won't go through all of these, but a bunch of bug fixes that looks really good. Cool. Looking further down, Mi-24P, we now have the KM-2 system. Now, we actually got a video from Wolfpack 345. So let's take a quick look at his video on this very subject. Now, it's a funny thing because conceptually it's a very simple piece of equipment. Pardon me, but very useful, especially for an aircraft of this kind of vintage. You've got to keep in mind that, you know, there really isn't that much that you could consider a computer inside the Hind. Just about everything is kind of mechanical. I think at the very most you've got some analog computers on board. So the KM-2, it's the magnetic declination system for the Hind. And so basically you set this up for the local magnetic variance in effect for where you're operating the aircraft, and it will automatically adjust all of your instruments to take that into account and give you a correct heading. So yeah, pretty handy, a realistic system. This kind of system is also present in the Mi-8, and I think, if I remember correctly, the L-39. Although I don't know if they're modelled in those modules. I would suspect they probably are, but I've never fiddled with them, so I don't know. And the thing is, if you do like a hot start or you start in the air, these kinds of systems are already set up for you. So yeah, that's not really a problem. Channel right, JF-17 radar seems higher res. Okay, that's cool. So in any case, we have a video here which demonstrates its use. You pretty much just twiddle the knob to get the positive or negative variance that you want to apply. So it's nothing particularly complex. So we'll jump on from that. More main model LODs were added, resolved keybind collisions. They've added a bunch more keybinds actually, and then some fixes. And then we've got very small numbers of fixes for all the other ones. Hind is so sexy, I agree, Tog. So yeah, A10C got some small fixes, the P47, the Mosquito, P51, Focke-Wulf, both Focke-Wulfs in fact. Nothing particularly interesting to call out here. Added the ability to turn on and off the vehicle's engine in DCS combined arms. That's kind of cool, I guess. Fix the machine gun and the Leopard. Yeah, not really anything too exciting. JF-17, air-to-ground radar modes and displays. Should directly enter target tracking mode from target indication mode after lock, no intermediate state. removed redundant elements, behavior of snowplow and slave modes, and should not enter AGR when silent. Yeah, oh, actually, that's a good point, yeah. And then a bunch of fixies for the JF-17. Harrier, we got updated T-pod transitions, which is nice. We've got a bunch of fixies for the Mirage. And then the F-14, this is the one that they were talking about before. There's been a whole bunch of adjustments made to the autopilot. So we've got improvements to the autopilot heading hold, the GT hold, auto throttle adjustments. Yeah, really just a whole load of kind of small fixies here for the F-14, which is cool and nice to see. Wow. Byron, I found a YouTube video of a Toyota with a rocket pod as advertised from 2011 in Libya. Is this the one? Because I've seen a video of one of these firing and then immediately setting the interior of the cabin on fire. I wonder if it's that one, Byron. But yeah, a very interesting concept. Cool. And then the last video that we had from our man Wat Magner, Uwu, was all about visual initial and reference points. And I was talking about this a little bit earlier. I think this is a really nice fleshing out of the avionics in the F-16. Because the pull-up queue in particular, I think, is really cool. I wonder if we actually, if I fast forward this a little bit, if we get a demonstration of that. So he's flying towards a target. We're going to get our pull-up queue. There we go, there's the circle. So in the HUD, you can see a circle. It's just a visual representation. You don't get steering information or anything towards that. But you know, if he puts his flight path marker on the circle, as he passes over the circle, he's expected to pop up, turn on target, execute his attack, and then pull off. And I think this is really, really nice, having this additional symbology. It's going to allow you to do some very, very accurate attacks in the Viper. Oh, shows it in use with no ill effects to the truck. Nope, it drives off after. Okay, fair enough. I think, you know, there are probably well-made versions of this and not so well-made versions of this. I saw a not so well-made version of it, where it did catch fire when they tried to use it. They do look kind of terrifying, and I like the fact that it never shows you them with crew actually inside the vehicle while it's firing. I think that would be very, very unpleasant for the crew. Okay, bombs off. Boom, boom, boom. Nice, very nice. So yeah, this is really, really cool. If you haven't, please watch this latest Matt Wagner video all about the visual initial and visual reference points. Really, really cool additional features to the F-16. And as we saw in the changelog, the F-16 is getting a lot of love here. We're starting to really see the avionics, yeah, get filled out a bit. But I'm gonna leave this as a exercise for chat. I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes or so. What's the DED page that's missing? If you've been watching this stream, you should know what I would say is the DED page that's missing. So pop that in the chat, and you will get a big thumbs up from Deepak. And that is pretty much the news that we have for this week. It was a kind of better news week. We had a bunch of stuff going on, which is always nice to see, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what's coming to the F-16 and F-18 in the next few weeks, especially the F-18, seeing as how it looks like it's pretty much you know, coming out of early access. Thank you, Byron. Byron gets the Deepak thumbs up. Well done, sir. Cruise page. Eagle Dynamics. Where my cruise page? It's like my favorite page. Like in the Harrier, I fly the Harrier the most. I use that VREST cruise page non-stop. So yeah, time to pimp the VAF. You were quite right, Tog. I was about to do that in just a sec. Thank you, sir. You're a very, very efficient assistant. It is indeed time to pimp the VAF. There's no more DCS news for this week that I'm aware of. So yeah, as always, I would like to call out the VAF. Both myself and dotChuckles are the founders of the Virtual Air Force. It's an online squadron, virtual squadron, that people can join. We have a kind of opt-in milsim approach. You can join us as a freelancer, in which case you can fly whatever aircraft you want. You can fly whenever you want. You don't need to do any mandatory training or anything like that. Just join us during our training or mission sessions. All are welcome. However, if you'd like to opt into a slightly more milsim hardcore style experience, then you have the option of joining one of our numbered squadrons, and they provide mandatory training in the form of operational conversion, And on completion of your mandatory training, you get what I call, or what we call, in fact, a type rating for your aircraft. You then have various additional optional qualifications that you can take on as well, in things like night flying, air-to-air refueling, and so on. So yeah, please join the VAF. The link for the Discord is in the show notes below. Even if you don't want to fly, or even if you don't fly DCS, you're just interested in aviation and flight sims in general, please go ahead and join us. Everybody is welcome. It's a really nice group of people. It's nice to just hang out and have a chat. I know that Tog is very active in the part of the Discord where we're sharing recipes and food ideas and things like that, so there's a whole lot of stuff going on there. But if you do want to fly with us, we're doing training sessions at 8 PM UK time every Tuesday. We're doing missions at 8 PM UK time every Thursday, and we're tending to do other stuff in between times. We often have like a server takeover or similar on a Saturday. As Byron says, join the VAF. The VAF needs you. It's good fun. We have so many pilots now. Like, it's common on a mission night now that we easily have 30 or 40 pilots, which is pretty crazy. Of course, some of the airframes, like the Apaches and the F-14s, are two-people airframes, so, you know, we don't necessarily have 30 or 40 airframes, but we have a lot of people taking part, and it's a lot of fun. Oh, and yeah, I guess I should detail the squadrons we have. We currently have numbered squadrons for the F-16, for the Harrier, for the F-14, for the F-18, for the A-10, and for the Apache. So please, come join us. So, that is... Oh, wait, channel right. I think possibly the F-18 still may get the towed decoy thing. That's my understanding. I believe the F-18... Actually, no, this was the F-16 that was supposed to get a towed decoy. I don't know if the F-18 has a towed decoy. Perhaps it does as well, though. I actually don't know. But yes, there's stuff like that coming. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this week. As always, thank you very much, everybody, for supporting the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. It's a really, really big help to me and to the channel. Things are going really, really well with the channel in general, actually. Actually, what is the latest figures here for the old channel? 4.39k. So it's looking pretty impressive. And you know, that's all thanks to you guys. Thank you very much for supporting me. As always, every Saturday I'm going to do a premiere video. So next week we're going to be demonstrating the Laser Mavericks and the Hornet. Stay tuned for that. That's always at 6:30 PM UK time. I keep trying to say my local time. I'm actually in Sweden. So 6:30 PM UK time, and that's always then followed by the DCS news, which just happens to be this thing what you are watching now. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Fly safe.